Good morning, everybody, and this is our sort of daily, well, almost daily little inspirational chat in the morning, and I'm basing this one on something that I wrote in 2017 called Shine, and it's certainly dark out there, isn't it? And it's throwing it down with rain in Sheffield this morning. Well, it's not Sheffield, it's Kilmarsh, but near enough. And this shine, it's talking about the way that we can shine our light in the darkness. So here we go. Oh, oh, joy words can't express, the love within each one, which needs to now speak forth and shine in light divine. Your life and mine are lost in empty words that prove that silence can say far more from heart than we in speech impart. Let love communicate in light, the shining of our souls. Let the light illuminate our world, so sure and ever pure. Be silent and be still, breathe out and then breathe in. Let the cracks in our humanity shine with light and be so bright. Shine for of stardust we are made, the glowing embers that we are. Through us, let love be personified, let it be in you and me. It's not my best, I know, but it's got a great message, and I don't know, we keep talking about light and darkness. It's the time of the year when we're thinking of the change of the season from darkness to light. We've had, thank goodness, we've had the darkest day, and now we're on the move to the lighter day. But the challenge at this time of year, I always think, is to our beings of light. We're made from stardust. Your internet connection is unstable, you see.
Yeah, so, you've just started. It was fine, but you've just started.
Yeah,
freezing.
The idea is that we shine into the darkness. That there are cracks in us. The crack pot, we've talked about that before, but that's where the light gets out. So if you've got a heart of love towards the world, that's how you shine your light. I asked myself the question, I don't know if you saw it, in one of these broadcasts I did on my own. How do you shine your light, Andrew? It's all right. You keep saying to us, shine our light. How do you do it? It's by acts of love. And you need to say anything. You just need to act with love. And okay, sometimes that love will be misunderstood. People will think there's something not quite right with you. Why have you done that for me? And I thought I'd help. I hope it didn't offend. You know, there should be an expectation that people will act in love. And there's usually a reason why people don't. People's light gets dimmed by some of the things that happen to them. When someone loses a loved one at Christmas, my dad didn't want to die just before Christmas, because that is what had happened with my granddad. My granddad died just before Christmas, and he knew how sad that was, but he just couldn't hold on any longer. And so we had the funeral. It was on the 22nd of December.
You're breaking up.
In the darkest time of the year, acting towards others in love. I'm just asking, Catherine, if you've got any thoughts on shining your light in the darkness.
Yeah, it's just a shame that you broke up in parts of that. I didn't quite catch some of it, but I do. do feel that I know where you was going with what you were saying, and the finding the cracks. I put a post on Facebook the other day, and it was a tree roots, and it was on a path with that had been had mosaic patterns, and the roots went round the actual patterns on of the thing, and it was saying like, so nature will always find a way. And in a way, that was the tree, the roots of the tree were expanding, and they were finding the way through. That even though you could say they said darkness, which was the flags that had been laid, even though that was there, they was finding the root, the earth where they were meant to be. And so when we're shining our light, and like you say, acts of love, all that, it gets through the cracks. It might not be immediate, and because people have, like you say, they might say to themselves, why is he doing that for me? But it's the act of love, not the perception of the person, that is actually shining the light, and it's still getting through the cracks. And that is what we can do. We can just be the love that we are, and give the love that we are. Then and that is how the cracks become bigger, and eventually people like sort of start to feel more and more immediately the vibration of the love that is sent out to them.
I think that's it. The only thing that in the poem it talks about words being useless, and that they don't communicate in the way that we want. We use words sometimes to assert our point of view, and it's very easy to get into a debate about anything. I love to debate. I love to understand where people are coming from in their thoughts, and the heart expressed through the mind. The mind thought about this. Why do we, like I had that thought, how do you shine your light? What do you have to do to shine your light? And it's an act of love. So I like to have that conversation, that reasoning, but in the end, words are superfluous. They aren't able to communicate in the same way that an act of love can. And so it's so much easier to say nothing and speak so loudly that people have to take notice. If you do something for somebody else, they can't not notice it. Not if it's consistent. If it's just a one-off, if you're just being kind to try and gain some brownie points or something, then that doesn't work. But if you constantly show love to someone, eventually it must get through. They can't not understand that your light is shining, their darkness is getting less because you care. And in the context of what I'm saying, I'm thinking about the Way as an online community. That's what we're here for. We're not here. Yes, of course we want to talk to each other. Yes, we want to exchange ideas, but the thing that we want to bring to the world is a message of hope, of love, of kindness, of joy, of contentment. That in the end, all the words, they're interesting, and they'll engage us, and they'll draw us closer together. If we have a heart attitude of love towards each other, it'll bring the community tighter together. But in the end, you don't have to say anything, you just show love, and people keep showing up for that. Everybody wants some of that. So it's like the light shining on the hill. People will go to that light because it's beautiful to see things put in clearer perspective, and love does it. I think so anyway.
What you said about about getting shining through the light with the acts of love and everything, and it reminded me of how I was with Leo, my little dog here, the rescue that I got while I was in Spain. And he, at first he would run, he wouldn't come anywhere near me. He would shiver, he was scared. Goodness knows what had happened to him. But slowly I would just sit and I would say to him, you're loved, you're safe. And that was back in last April, and now, yeah, last night it was just that. I mean, he's come all the way from Spain with me here. He's been fine. He's now integrated with 2 more dogs, and it's gone as good as it could be, really. But he was sat at the side of me, and he was just like sort of snuggled up to me, and was like, I had my hand, I was licking my hand and everything. And I remember saying to him, one day you'll be right over here, you'll be right near me, and you'll know how much you love. I said, for now, I'm just going to let you know, I'm not going to do anything to hurt you. And slowly and surely, it got through the cracks. And it developed that trust, and that is like what you're saying. You shine that love, not for anything else, but to love that, to send out that vibration, and slowly and surely it does seep in. It can't help but get through the cracks. How much is up to the individual.
Yeah, you can't force it. You can't force it. It's you can be love, but that doesn't mean that the love is received. It's what's been said before about a gift. If I give you a gift but you refuse it, that gift is in my hand, and you take it out of my hand, it's your gift. It's from me to you. But if you don't take it out of my hand, where does it belong? So
that's interesting. Yeah.
My love, as I shine out my love into the world, if it's not received, then it's still mine. You know, I still have that love, and it's to shine out your light, to be that person of love, doesn't mean that you have to have that love received for it to be accepted as an act of love. The act of love, it's a standalone. It's like the oneness. It exists. It doesn't have to be received as a gift. The gift has to be received to be a true gift. But love exists of itself. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be received for that love to be real. The love can be real without having any reception to it. It's a standalone thing, is love. So we don't have any problem in keeping the love. If people don't want to receive the love, it's okay, and they don't have to have it. A gift doesn't have to be received. That it's okay not to receive what people are giving to you. Some people are giving you a load of nonsense. You don't have to receive it, and while ever you don't receive their nonsense, it belongs to them. And that's the sort of the negative side of what I'm saying. But with love, if the love remains with you, you can still give that love. It's not like I've given that love to that person and they didn't receive it, so I'm depleted of love. I don't have that love anymore, and they don't have it either. What a waste of time. I'm not going to love anymore. That's not how it goes.
Yeah.
You give your love, and if it's not taken, if it's not received, then you still have it. It's not disappeared. It still exists, and it's with you, the giver, because it's not being taken from you. So that's a sort of another way of, because some people say, well, I've been loving, I have been kind, I have been thoughtful, I've done so many things in my life to be a blessing to other people, and I'm just giving up now because they just don't receive it, they don't get it. Now, I shine my light and they still exist in darkness. What's the point of shining my light anymore? Au contraire,
That is not the point. Yeah.
You do it because that's who you are. You can't stop being who you are. So if you are a person of love, then you've got to continue with that, regardless of the actions of others. And I'm preaching to myself here. I really am. So yeah, that's quite a revelation to me. You know, sometimes it comes through me, not from me, and that's an answer to a question I was asking earlier.
Well, I see it as a constant flow, because as the love is as an energy is coming through you, it's coming in you. You feel it. You're filled with it, and you express it. And it is constantly being expressed. It's constantly coming back through you. You're just a vessel of love. And as you bring it in, you've filled yourself, and you express it, and it's just constantly coming and flowing. And whether that energy is going out, whether it is taken, like you say, that's where the free will comes in. It's of a person. It's like yesterday, somebody rang up, and it was rubbish. It was a nuisance call sort of thing. And it's like, I answered the phone and and it is like, no, I don't want to take this call because that was my free will. So I don't know where you've got this number from, but please take me off your database list. I don't want to listen to you. Is like sort of my free will choice. That was like you were saying from the other point of view. But if that person was on the phone saying, hi, this is I'm ringing up about the information you wanted, you was looking for, and it was something that you're interested in, then you listen and you absorb and you take that call. So, and that is where the free will comes in.
Just thinking about, I read something, I can't remember who was saying it. Maybe it was Desmond Tutu. Anyway, talking about the Dead Sea. It could be Alan Watts. All the water, the fresh water, flows into the Dead Sea, but there's nowhere out. It's in a basin. It's in the depth of the earth, and the water stinks, and that's why they call it the Dead Sea. So if you're giving your love to a place where it's not, we were just talking about the flow, the way that love flows through us, from the divine into the world, and it shines that light as it does it. Eventually, it's not that you stop loving, but that it would make more sense that if you were to allow the flow to go to someone who receives it, because then it's actually able to do that domino effect of when I show, if you've had a kindness, pass it on. That's what they say, isn't it? So
pay it forward.
Pay it forward, yeah. And if people aren't paying it forward, then with the best will in the world, if they don't want to receive your love, not just once, but multiple times they refuse it, then you really must let the love and the light shine and flow where it's wanted, because otherwise you not that you'll get love fatigue, but you won't be effective with that love. So love has to be effective. If we're going to shine our light, we can shine it and shine it and shine it, and we're wanting to illuminate others. That's why we're shining it. And if it isn't doing that, if there might be lots of reasons why a person can't receive that light. Like I said, if you've lost a loved one just before Christmas, it's very difficult to go, oh yes, thank you very much for my love, yes, I'll shine it out now. It's like, I'm going through a dark time in my life, and it's okay to be in that darkness. When you've lost someone who you've loved, it's not, come on, you've got to wake up and you've got to shine your light. There are times that we're allowed to be down, and there are times when we're allowed to deal with the stuff that we've got in our lives. But eventually, if after that dark time, a person just doesn't want to receive from you, it's making sure that the resource of light and love, it's illuminating the world, because that's what I think our community is about. It's about enlightening as many people as possible. So it's not that someone's a lost cause. Maybe you need to go back to them, give them some time, give them some space, and go back to them again. But don't keep shining your light in places where it's not actually not being received right now. I'm not saying give up on anyone, never give up on anyone, but it has to be effective. The light shining has got to be effective. Getting quite deep here, but yeah, interesting.
It is, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to go, Andrew.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, it's been really, really interesting. But we're setting off now in a second to go and see my mother and father-in-law. So
okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'll see you maybe,
soon.
Hopefully, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
If the internet's okay. Bye.
Bye for now. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
So yeah, I'm going to read it again, the poem. I don't know what's been recorded and what hasn't. This is a poem I wrote on 19th of September in 2017. It's called Shine, and here we go. Oh, joy words can't express the love within each one, which needs to now speak forth and shine in light divine. Your life and mine are lost in empty words that prove that silence can say far more from heart than we in speech impart. Let love communicate in light, the shining of our souls. Let the light illuminate our world, so sure and ever pure. Be silent and be still, breathe out and then breathe in. Let the cracks in our humanity shine with light and be so bright. Shine, for of stardust we are made, the glowing embers that we are. Through us let love personified, let it be in you and me. Namaste.